Welcome to Cyber Bytes, your weekly dose of cybersecurity news. I'm your host, Edwin Kwan, and today we're covering some significant stories that highlight the evolving landscape of cyber threats and innovations. From a major law firm hit by foreign cyber attackers to AI coding assistants taking a surprising stance, we've got it all covered. Let's dive right in. First up, a prominent Sydney law firm, Brydens Lawyers, have been targeted by foreign cyber attackers in an extortion attempt. The breach resulted in the theft of over 600 gigabytes of confidential data, including client and staff information. The firm discovered the breach around 20th February and has since taken its systems offline and engaged external experts to manage the situation. The attackers are now demanding a ransom, highlighting the vulnerabilities of legal firms to ransomware attacks. Brydens Lawyers have reported the incident to the Australian Cyber Security Centre and is working to notify affected individuals. This incident underscores the importance of robust cybersecurity measures, especially for organizations handling sensitive data. Legal firms must be vigilant in protecting their digital assets from such threats. Up next, in a surprising turn of events, an AI coding assistant named Cursor has refused to generate code for users, instead advising them to learn programming. This behavior mirrors past instances where AI models have shown reluctance to perform tasks, often attributed to model laziness. The response from Cursor closely resembles interactions on programming forums like Stack Overflow, where experienced developers often encourage self-learning. This is likely due to the extensive dataset used to train these AI models, which includes discussions from platforms like GitHub. While some users haven't encountered this issue, it appears to be an unintended consequence of Cursor's training. The developers have been contacted for comment, and it will be interesting to see how they address this unique situation. In our next story, a widely used GitHub action, TJ-Actions, was recently compromised, leaking sensitive information from public repositories. The attack, tracked as CVE 2025-30066, exposed secrets like AWS access keys and GitHub personal access tokens by injecting malicious code into workflow logs. Although the malicious commits have been reverted, the risk of leaked secrets remains, and security teams are advised to review logs and rotate compromised credentials immediately. To mitigate such risks, it's crucial to pin GitHub actions to specific commit hashes and use allow listing features to prevent future attacks. This incident also highlights the importance of monitoring and securing dependencies in software development. Up next, a phishing campaign targeting GitHub users with fake security alert issues have been identified. The campaign tricks users into authorizing a malicious OAuth app, which can hijack accounts and gain full access to repositories and workflows. nearly 12,000 repositories have been targeted, with warnings of unusual logging attempts from Iceland. Users who have authorized the app are advised to revoke its access and check for unfamiliar GitHub actions. This campaign underscores the need for vigilance when interacting with security alerts, and also on the importance of verifying the authenticity of such notifications before taking actions. And our last story is one of a positive note. Over 500,000 MyGov users have adopted passkeys as their login method, with over 200,000 users abandoning traditional passwords. This shift is part of the Australian government's effort to enhance security and combat phishing attacks. Passkeys use biometric authentication or physical devices, making accounts resistant to phishing since they are specific to each website or app. Australia is among the first countries to implement passkeys for government services, demonstrating a proactive approach to cybersecurity. This move could set a precedent for other countries looking to also improve their digital security. And that's all for today's episode of Cyberbytes. We've covered a range of stories from cyber attacks on law firms to innovative AI behaviors and security breaches on GitHub. It's clear that cybersecurity remains a dynamic and evolving field, with both challenges and opportunities emerging regularly. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week for more updates from the world of cybersecurity.